If you have ever struggled when it comes to what to create, then this video is for you. Now, when it comes to marketing, a lot of business owners really struggle over what type of content they should be creating, specifically video content, but any type of content in general, because at the end of the day, it's all the same. What I'm going to share with you in this video, whether you're doing it for video, or whether it's blog, or whether it's photo content and captioned on social media, it doesn't matter where you're sharing this content, it's all the same. So get your notepad out, get a pen and paper, whatever it is, get your phone, open up the notes tab, because we're going to dive in and go through how you can start creating content that will convert for your business. Now, if I had to simplify this entire video into one sentence, it's literally your content should help your audience self-diagnose the problems that they're having with your solution. Now, that might really be oversimplifying it, but that's what it comes down to. All of your content that you're creating should allow your audience, your perfect client within that audience, to say, that is exactly the challenge, the problem that I'm having. And this person or this company, this business obviously has the answers to my problems. So how do you do that exactly? That might be really, you're like, okay, that's great, Aaliyah, that sounds amazing, but how do you actually do that? It's all through your free content. What I want you to start thinking is, how do you use your free content, your marketing plan, your content marketing plan? How do you use that as a way to start, like a filtering mechanism? If you think of all of your content as a filtering mechanism, it's going to help you determine what should go in, what's going to be helpful for your audience, and what might not be helpful for your content marketing plan or for your audience. As an example, I have a photography studio. That's one of the businesses that I own. Okay, so as a photography studio, I don't necessarily want to be creating content around how to build a marketing plan. That wouldn't make sense if you just thought of it as a photography studio. Unless, of course, my client was business owners, because I created branding photography, which, by the way, I do. That would then make sense. Now, if I was a family photographer, what I should be creating content around would be around posing, how to do photos yourself, the different types of outfits that your kids should be wearing or your family should be wearing. Now, that type of content would make sense because it is speaking to my audience and it's helping them filter. If they're looking at that content, obviously they're thinking about doing family photos. You're not necessarily trying to figure out how to style you and your whole family unless you guys are going to go take pictures, unless that's just your thing. You guys go out and try to match all the time, which maybe you do. Once you create all of this free content, what is that doing? What is it doing for your audience? It's helping build your authority, and it's helping build that goodwill and building trust so that they feel comfortable with reaching out to you and they see you as an expert within your industry. So all of your content is structured all around the solutions that you provide and creating that filtering mechanism for people to say, yes, I want to work with them. Yes, I feel like they've got the solutions to my problems. You can even do filtering mechanisms around pricing. You can start talking about the different types of options somebody could look at if they're going to try to find a solution to their problem. Again, for example, let's stay on that photography track. If I'm trying to filter out my clients, specifically, we work with more of the higher end established businesses. They're not necessarily the brand new businesses with no budget. But what I could do is I could have a video specifically talking about the different options of photography. There's the DIY using the handy dandy selfie with your iPhone. And so I could even give a couple tips. That way I'm still helping those people find a solution to a problem that they have, building that goodwill, building that trust, showing that you're an authority, you know what you're doing, even as simple as how to take a nice selfie, and you're providing that value. So you're helping that person find a solution. And who knows, 3-4 years, once they're ready, 1 year, once they're ready for professional photos, they're more open to come and talk to me over somebody else. But we've got that freebie option. And then this same video, I could also be talking about what to look for in a photographer. What are the different rates? What are the different prices? What are the different options that the different photographers might have, whether it's studio, on location, outfits, posing. Some people have outfits in their studio that you can work with. And then giving those pricing breakdowns in that video. And then I could even speak to my studio, we fall more in here. So even without the person having ever visited my website, they would know right away, yeah, I do want somebody who's going to help pose me. I do want somebody who's going to have the outfits there. I do want somebody who's got a studio. That way I don't have to worry about weather. Yeah, I do want somebody who does full pixie dusting, aka retouching, on my photos. Yeah, I do want somebody that's got the different sets and the lights and all of that experience to be able to pull off the type of images that I'm looking for. And so then when I give that pricing, even within that video, it's going to push certain people away because they're going to say, there's no way I could afford that. That's not what I'm looking for right now. I'm just looking for a quick selfie that I can, pop on my Instagram bio. I still helped them. I still gave them that value. But then I also spoke to the professional. That's nice. Now I can take my own selfies and look cute in them. But what I'm really going for is I'm rebranding my website. I really need photos to pop. I really need images that are going to help sell my services and help sell where I'm at in my business and attract the right type of clients. And then I'm also speaking to them as well without necessarily having to say, if you want to work with me, my rates start at blah, blah, blah. Like, you're still able to accomplish that within a video. So that filtering system in terms of what type of content to create, you can even really give your pricing. You're just doing it in a way where you're comparing and you're showing the options. Even if you don't provide that solution, I'm not a selfie queen making any type of money. I don't have a course on how to take selfies, but yeah, I still gave that as a solution to a problem, coupled in with the other options that I do actually provide, aka the studio photos, the branding photo shoots. So there's that filtering mechanism that you can have in there as well. Now, something else that's really been helpful when it comes to creating that content is it's not just one way where it's edutainment. That's the word that I like to use. Educational and entertaining. So it's not just that. I love to include case studies or testimonials into content as well. That way it's not just coming from me, it's coming from other people as well. And this could be as simple as flashing up a screenshot of a Google review, or you could show the end result of the product or service, smiling faces talking about their story. There's different things that you can do within your content, and you can actually place it within your video as well. So it's just part of the video versus a flat out, hey, watch this testimonial video. Because unless your prospect is actually looking for reasons to either work with you or not work with you, because sometimes we do that. We're like, does this person have the testimonials? Do they work with people like me? That's a big thing. People always want to know. Okay, like for my photography business, people will come to me and they'll say, hey, I see that you took this amazing picture of this lawyer, but I'm a real estate agent. Do you know how to photograph real estate agents? And it's like, yes, I do. Here's the 1,000 different real estate agents that I photograph. They're like, oh, perfect. You know how to photograph a real estate agent. Perfect. Let's go. So showing the different types of industries that you've worked with, the different types of solutions that you've provided for different types of people are really helpful to get people over that hump to say, okay, they know what they're doing specifically for people like me. They can get me the similar results. And so then they're going to go ahead and take that next step with you. Now, a big hurdle that a lot of people will have in their brains when it comes to creating video content specifically, I hear this all the time and it actually really bothers me. So let me just set this straight right now for you. You are not going to share anything that's going to hurt your business when it comes to giving away too much information. Okay, so that is a big thing that people are fearful of. If I show them exactly how I do it, then they're not going to come and work with me. That's like me saying, if I show somebody how I photograph here at my studio, then they're not going to want to come to me. If I show somebody how I set up my YouTube setup, then they're not going to hire us to create their video content. Heck, I have a workshop. That's what I'm going to tell you about at the end of this video here. I have a workshop where I invite people in. It's a free workshop. They literally come into our studio. They get to see exactly how we set a YouTube video up, lighting, how you can do it with your phone. I teach them everything because I understand there is a difference between somebody who is going to do it themselves. They will never hire me. They will never hire anybody, at least at that point in their business. They just want to do it themselves. That's not my client. That's not somebody that I'm going to work with. I might as well create that video content. I even invite them in for a workshop. I want to get them into my space, into my circle. I want to help educate them. I want to bring them the most value, even if they're not paying a darn penny. And you can do the same thing with your video. Give them that value. That's not your client. Now, who is your client is the person that still wants that education. They still want that value. They still want to watch it. They still want to come to the workshops. They still want to get that downloadable. They still want to consume it because they're looking for the right guide. They know that they have a problem that they need to solve, but they need to find somebody who's giving them that value because they might still be in that mindset of maybe I can do it myself. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can figure it out. So if you give them enough information for them to be like, you know what, I might be able to do it myself, but is that worth my time? Am I making more money out serving my clients versus doing the thing that you're teaching? And if that's a yes, then they already know who they want to come to. Boom, that's you. They want to come to you. They want to work with you because you've already proven how valuable you are, that you're knowledgeable, that you are the authority in that space. And so once you can do that is who you're talking to. That is your client, right? The plumber who shows you how to quickly turn off your toilet when it starts spraying out water, hurry up and turn it off. You don't want to call them and wait for them to come. And that plumber doesn't expect you to either. He wants to be the person that's going to show you. Because if he's not the one who's showing you how to do that for free, they're going to find somebody else online who will. And so if you can come to that mindset of when that person then has plumbing issues, they're going to reach out to the same plumber that showed them how to turn that spraying toilet off, or who showed them how to easily and quickly change out, I don't know what it's called, the thing in your toilet when your water is leaking and your water bill is super high and you realize it's because you had to change all that stuff, the valve, I don't know. They're going to call you because you were the person that showed them how to do the simple things on their own for free. And so even if it was more than that, even if a plumber showed you all of his work, everything he did, the whatever, I don't know, the $10,000 bill, right? The work behind all of it, they're still going to hire you. The person that's trying to figure it out, that's not your client because they're going to do it themselves anyways. So go ahead, put it out there. Don't be afraid. Don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to the content that you're putting out there, because what that will do, nowadays, content is everywhere. Information overload. You do not have anything that is not already online. And if you do, amazing. Put it online because then you're going to attract the right clients who want you to provide that solution for them. And they don't want to do it themselves. They want to hire somebody else to do it for them. And if they say, oh, that person knows exactly how to do it and they know exactly how to work with people like me, then they're going to hire you. That is so important for you to understand. Do not be afraid. Have an abundance mindset of let me share what I've got, because then people are going to hire you to do it for them. Or they're going to hire you to help them over whatever the next hurdle is. If you have an online business, if it's not a product or a service, like a done for you service, that's okay. Even if it's an online coaching business, don't be afraid of giving away too much. Now, your content does need to be structured in a way that allows the viewer to consume it and digest it. You don't necessarily want to overload people to where they're like, oh, there's just too much here. I don't want to purchase. If you're an online coach, I don't want to purchase because I already have enough homework here to get me through the next 3 months. You definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to overwhelm people. But what you do want to do is you want to show that you've got a lot of goodies. Your little bag of goodies, it's a never ending bottom there. It's like that bottomless mimosas. I don't even drink, but I think that's what that means, where they just bottomless, just keeps, I don't know. That leads me to my next point, and that is your video needs to have some type of call to action. It needs to convert to something. Here's the thing, it's not necessarily a buy now. Every single call to action is not here, buy this thing. It could literally be to watch your next video. If you're creating YouTube content, your call to action could be to watch this next video. Because every single video cannot be a buy now or even a download this thing now. But what I will say is if you can make it super easy for that person, that audience to consume it, percentage of people that will actually do that gets higher. If you make it complicated or hard, or they have to go over to this website, or you're pulling them off this platform and click here and download this thing, the harder you make it, the less people will actually take you up on it. If you can just keep them on that platform, or if you're doing something in stories, if you're sharing like a video short or a reel or an actual story, like an Instagram story, if you can just say, DM me the word money and I'll give you a guide on how you can invest in blah, blah, blah. If you can just make it super easy for the person to do that thing, the higher likelihood is that they're going to actually take you up on that call to action. If you make it complicated, they have to, call you and they have to say a word and then they're going to download it. And then the more steps, the more hoops they have to jump through, the lesser percentage of people will actually do it. Not as many people are going to get through that funnel. Now, I have another video that's going to break down how you can actually do calls to action easier and a lot more information, a little more thorough around how to take call to actions and implement them within your videos. Because here's the thing, all of this entire video that we've been talking about, video content and a marketing plan or content plan around it, it all comes down to your video really just needs to be converting, right? It should be converting to something. You don't want 100, even 100 people or 10 people. You don't want 10 people to watch their video and say, that's nice. You want them to take some type of action, save the video, share the video, like the video, watch your next video, attend your workshop, DM you the word workshop so that you can sign them up for it. Whatever that is, you want to make sure that your video is structured in a way that really entices people to want to move on to that next step with you. If you're interested in learning more about video marketing, specifically the YouTube platform, then I want to invite you to attend our free workshop. It's called YouTube Local. It takes place right here in our studio. You're going to be able to get a behind the scenes look at how we create content. And we're going to show you step by step how you can create your own content using your phone. We're going to show you everything. That way, no matter where you're at in your own journey, in your own business journey, you're going to learn how you can start creating video content right away. So go to youtubelocal.com, sign up for your seat, and I can't wait to see you here in our studio.